According to recent statistics, nearly 1 in 5 people have experienced unsettling or suspicious behavior from their neighbors, with neighborhood crime rates spiking in otherwise peaceful communities. The question is, how well do you really know the person living next door? Neighborhood horror stories tap into our deepest fears because they happen in the one place we're supposed to feel safe. The cozy streets, familiar houses, and friendly faces can mask chilling secrets, reminding us that even the most ordinary places can harbor unimaginable terror. After all, it's often the people closest to us who hide the darkest truths. Imagine moving into a quiet, suburban neighborhood. The lawns are perfectly trimmed. Kids ride their bikes down the street, and neighbors wave in passing. Everything feels safe, almost too perfect. But then small, unsettling things start to happen. At night, you hear faint footsteps outside your window, too deliberate to be random. Your mail goes missing, only to reappear days later, slightly crumpled. Your next-door neighbor, once friendly, now gives you unnerving glances, staying just a bit too long in your peripheral vision. And that house down the street, the one with the for sale sign that never seems to sell. Rumor has it that no one lasts more than a few months living there. As the days pass, the sense of unease grows. What seemed like innocent coincidences now feel like carefully orchestrated threats. The unsettling sensation of being watched becomes harder to shake, and the neighborhood that once felt like home slowly transforms into a web of paranoia and dread. Here are a few chilling real-life encounters with neighbors that will make you think twice about those living next door. One woman noticed her neighbor would always be outside, every morning at 6 a.m., just sitting on his porch, staring. It wouldn't have been too strange, except he never waved back when she passed by. Months went by, and his unblinking gaze became more unsettling. One day, she found out from the landlord that the house had been vacant for weeks. No one was supposed to be living there. A man would hear soft knocking at his door around midnight every few weeks. He lived alone and thought it was just his imagination, until one night he decided to check the peephole. His neighbor, a man in his 50s, was standing on the other side, smiling at the door. When he confronted him the next day, the neighbor denied ever being there and claimed he had never left his house at night. A young couple moved into their first home, excited for a quiet life. Soon, they started hearing strange noises in the walls. They assumed it was just an old house settling, until they found food wrappers in the attic. Their neighbor had been crawling through a secret passage that connected the houses, sneaking in at night to spy on them. A single mom noticed her neighbor across the street always seemed to be on his roof late at night, sometimes just staring into the distance. She dismissed it as odd behavior until one night, she saw him standing directly across from her window, watching her through the darkness. When the police were called, they discovered he had been tracking her daily routine for weeks. Each tale builds the terrifying truth. The person you wave to every day may be hiding sinister secrets behind their front door. The most shocking story is the stranger in the wall. Imagine hearing strange noises in your home, brushing them off as creaks in the floorboards, only to discover someone has been sneaking through a hidden passage between houses. This wasn't a stranger breaking in. It was the neighbor you trusted, silently watching you from the darkness, moving through your home without your knowledge. The thought that someone could be living so close, with secret access to your life, leaves a chill that lingers long after the story ends. It forces you to question, how well do you really know the walls of your home and the people beyond them? The key themes of these stories highlight that horror often hides in plain sight, right next door. The seemingly normal neighbors, the friendly smiles, and the quiet streets can conceal dark secrets. Whether it's hidden passages, unsettling behavior, or twisted intentions, these tales remind us that the greatest fears can emerge from the people we think we know best. Have you ever had a creepy encounter with a neighbor? Share your own neighborhood horror stories in the comments below. And if you're craving more unsettling tales, don't forget to check out our next video on terrifying real-life encounters. It'll make you think twice about the people living next door.